Hello guys, welcome to Talking News, Chasing a Murderer. Please like and subscribe right now so you don't forget. I know a lot of you that are subscribed to this channel get kind of aggravated with the Lori Vallow, but I have to put those on there, guys, because I'm OCD about it. So I want every bit of piece of information available in case that might help find them children. So right now we're moving on to other stories that need light. And yes, my allergies are acting up, guys. So Vanessa Guillen, she's 20 years old, and so I'm going to share a bit of information about her. Vanessa is physically active. Her passions include working out, running, going to the gym, and playing soccer with her friends, and this is according to her family. Now, Vanessa went to Chavez High School, where she later graduated, but her biggest passion came to life after joining the military. Now, Vanessa was stationed in Virginia for a period of time before she ended up in Texas at Fort Hood, the U.S. military. It's an Army post in Keelan, Texas. This base covers about 340 square miles, which I think is kind of important. And this is in the counties of Bell and Coryell, which is between Austin and Waco. Now, I've really been fast on this information, guys, so I hope I have everything pretty well together, but it says it's the home of the 2nd Corps and the 1st Cavalry Division. On April 21st of 2020, I'm sorry if I haven't seen videos or anything, so I don't know how to pronounce Vanessa's sister's name. I'm going to say Vanessa Guillen. I'm just going to refer to her as her sister. Said that night that she had a conversation with Vanessa. She said they were pretty much just talking about Vanessa's plans to buy a new car. They go to bed, and the next day, April 22nd, Vanessa Guillen heads to work. Now, what we're hearing is Vanessa's boyfriend actually tries to reach out to her, but doesn't get any response. We do know that Vanessa went to work around 9 a.m. according to Vanessa's sister. Now, Mayra said that she was trying to reach out to Vanessa on April 22nd, but felt that something was really wrong. She said her sister wasn't answering any texts or any of her phone calls. It seemed the same problem was happening for Vanessa's boyfriend. According to authorities, Vanessa was supposed to be working in the armory room earlier that day, but around 9 p.m., Vanessa Guillen, her sister, said that she just realized that something wasn't right, because at 9 p.m. she couldn't get a hold of her, and she realized that Vanessa most likely wasn't working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. In one article, Vanessa's sister quoted, "As soon as I saw the clock strike 9 p.m., I knew she wouldn't be working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's when I started getting in touch with her sergeant." According to later Facebook posts by her sister, she said that Vanessa hadn't had any close contact with family, friends, or her boyfriend. Her car was also still at Fort Hood. She says, quote, "Something is not right. Please help me find her," end quote. So at that point, authorities, investigators started getting involved, trying to help Vanessa's family locate wherever Vanessa could have gone. And as they investigated, they established that the 20-year-old was last seen April 22nd, approximately around 1 p.m., wearing a black t-shirt in the parking lot of her regimental engineer squadron headquarters on the base. But what I can't figure out is whether Vanessa was last seen by a specific person or a camera, and neither can anyone else. I want to make sure that I give you guys the name of the parking lot that she was last seen in. So this parking lot is called Hell on Wheels, and that's between 16th and 19th Streets on Regimental Engineer Squadron Headquarters on Fort Hood. Investigators and police shared this statement on Saturday, although I've not had time to figure out exactly what that date was. Sorry, guys. So according to, sources, they say that Vanessa, when she was working in the armory room, that she had left behind her car keys, her room key, identification card, and her wallet. Only thing that wasn't left behind was her cell phone. And what's strange to me is her wallet and her barracks room key wasn't even touched. So that's kind of curious. So it's very curious to me anyways. But according to CNN, Vanessa is a private first class in the Army. As soon as she went missing, her family members started circulating missing person flyers and trying to reach out to the public. But when this story first come out, it really wasn't getting out there, too strong. But family and friends were adamant that they were going to get this story out there. And they worked very hard for the person that they loved. They were just reaching out any way they could. The flyers, each one that come out, would give a little bit more information. Because at first, it just started off that Vanessa was wearing a black t-shirt. Then it advanced to where she was wearing a black t-shirt and Nikes. Finally, we were getting the full details of what she was wearing the day that she went missing. So she was wearing a black t-shirt, light purple leggings, and black Nike shoes. So I kind of have questions about this. If this is what she was last wearing, was she even at work? I'm pretty certain that the Army doesn't allow you to go to work in purple stockings, but I could be wrong. Maybe things have changed. We also learned that she was only 5'2". She's Hispanic, about 126 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. Then the details start to get a little bit better. We find out that she has a mole on the left side of her chin, 3 tattoos on her left arm, which is a cross with a flower, and another flower on her left arm. This is what I'm reading off the flyer, guys. And a mountain on her upper left shoulder. So now the public has more than enough information to try to identify Vanessa. Now, guys, we had to find out a lot of information through Facebook posts. And some of those posts, one of the posts by her friend said that her phone pinged a couple of locations in Texas the day she went missing. And to be honest, guys, this really hasn't even been confirmed. So this information and posts are no longer visible on the internet. So obviously there must be some type of lead, because they're trying to keep it locked down. So I'm trying not to share too much information on that because of that. So I hope you guys can bear with me, because I do know a little bit more. But I will share that the military said that her phone last pinged at the 17:49 hour. So according to Vanessa's sister, she wrote on Facebook as well that her sister's phone was last tracked to Belton, Texas. And that's about 20 miles away from where she was last seen. When the articles started coming out, you could see where Vanessa's sister was just so adamant, trying to get anything she could out there about her sister. One thing I did notice that she was pushing is for people to get to know her. She says, quote, "She's such a hard-working girl and positive. She wanted to go into the military for a better opportunity. I feel completely lost right now. I don't know what to do." End quote. And can read more on that at the Statesman article. But what was quite concerning to a lot of people is we're dealing with a base here. This isn't just any public place. This isn't a highway. This is a military base. And what is shocking is we're hearing that they don't, we're hearing there's a possibility, I don't know for sure right now, that their security cameras are not really that great. Considering that this is a military base, this is concerning to me, and I think this is something that should be changed. Every military base should, they require you an ID to get into place. And if not anything else, we should be protecting our soldiers. But anyways, they're saying there was no cameras on base, but I bet there were a few. In response to that question about the cameras that the public had at the base Fort Hood, multiple people have said on Facebook that there aren't many cameras on that base. So there was a discussion area for the Fort Hood that was wrote about a year ago, and it says, quote, "There aren't many cameras, just the fact for Hood. Red light cameras perhaps, but surveillance? No," end quote. And guys, this doesn't make sense. What the hell? Come on, push your military bases, especially you on the base, and your families that are you need to push this. I mean, they should have security cameras in the updated ones, for God's sake. This is our military. I think whoever is involved with this knows that they don't have security camera. And dealing with the Andrew McDonald case, we kind of dealt with this where they were kind of low on the security footage as well. So you would think by now and these times that our military bases would invest in security cameras. My God. And as we are all well aware of, Fort Hood was also dealing with special lockdowns and stuff due to the I must call it COVID-19. This includes not checking ID cards, but instead running entry into the base through an automatic ID card scanner. In addition, no visitors were allowed into the barracks or on post during the pandemic. A curfew was set for about 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. and this was every day, with soldiers only allowed to travel outside of the curfew hours for essential functions. Anyways, it just sounds like it was a bunch of needless actions that really didn't help anyone, just like everywhere in the United States. I am so ashamed of our government with this COVID. It's just pathetic, but that's another subject. Anyways, police ended up doing an extensive search by military members as well as civilian and military police. They were doing everything they could to locate Vanessa. Also, what I found is the U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Command is also involved with a search, as well as Texas EcuSearch. Shortly after she went missing, Fort Hood Military Police also issued a be on the lookout notice to alert the surrounding law enforcement agencies to Vanessa's disappearance. Okay, so what's really concerning, since we're talking about the security cameras and things like that, I forgot to mention that according to a few articles online, that Guillen is not the first person to go missing from Fort Hood, and especially not the first one to go missing in this past year. So there's Greg Wendell Morales, who went missing back in August of 2019. In January, Kim Wendell wrote on Facebook, quote, "Tomorrow Greg will be, or would have been, 24. I hate losing hope, but 6 months, no word, no leads, no info makes it very difficult. Please help me out by continuing to look for and watch for him or listen for any information about him while in Texas. I miss him and I want him home. Happy birthday, baby boy. I love you to the moon and the stars and back again." End quote. So I think this was posted as an update this week. So it's smart of her to use another missing person, especially in the same place, to try to bring recognition to her missing person. So hopefully now everybody realizes there are 2 people missing from Fort Hood. So what I know so far is Wendell Morales was going to be processed out of the Army in just a few days when he disappeared. That's according to KXXV. So Morale, he was reported missing on August 20th of 2019, and he was a private in the 150th Composite Transportation Company. He was marked AWOL. And I guess they did this at the very first when he first disappeared, but they later changed it. And it wasn't much better. They changed it to he was a deserter. So a deserter doesn't just purchase a black Kia Rio, which was purchased in 2018. That purchase indicates to me that he planned on making his car payments in the future, and he has to have a job to do so. But then again, he's not the only one missing. His car's missing as well. Now, according to his mother, she said she received a Facebook message from someone claiming that he is being held hostage and they were asking for ransom money. Now, guys, if you're not familiar with Texas, which I was there for, I think it was 3 years, they have a lot of gangs and cartel. They do have real ransoms and real kidnappings and they kidnap their own people. We had a friend of ours that was working from Mexico. He was working for my husband, and he told Ron he wasn't able to come into work because his, I can't remember which family member, my mind's starting to slip, was kidnapped. Anyways, it was the cartel, and it's the smaller gangs that the cartel hire. They watch people to see if you're working in the States. And so this happened in Brownsville, Texas. It happens in Victoria, Texas a lot too. It's not just the border towns. But long story short, they ended up killing the guy and threatened to kill somebody else if he didn't pay a certain amount of money. So let me tell you, the cartel have their hands in the police pockets. They have their hands into the middle schools, recruiting the middle school kids. It's really bad there. Gangs and cartel in Texas. Nobody can deny this. It's terrible. Anyways, back on subject, it makes you wonder, perhaps, is this true? But we also have a lot of people that scam when people are kidnapped trying to get money. So it's very difficult to know, how real this is. But what's disappointing is the fact that our country is falling behind. We used to be ahead of everybody. We had the best investigation. We had the best science. We might have stole it, but we still had it. But today we're falling behind everyone, and we are not putting our people first. We should be able to have security cameras on base. My God, I'm still angry about that. So anyways, I want to cut this story short. The mother actually had a picture of her son, but what they found out was his face was photoshopped onto somebody else's body. So I guess they come up with the fact that most likely this was fake. So we're hoping for this mother that he is still okay. So maybe it's better if he did go AWOL and he's running away. At least he's still alive, but I don't know. I at least got his face and another disappearance in with the story. So on April 27th, we're going back to Vanessa's case. It's on a Monday. Fort Hood officials say that they expected an update from the U.S. Army criminal investigation, but sadly didn't get any new information, and that's according to Statesman. What I'm hearing as well is that the family is a little concerned of whether or not they're searching, so I'm still looking into that. So I only had last night and a little bit this morning to research this case. So anyways, Myra's phone, sorry guys, Vanessa's sister says she calls Vanessa's phone and it goes straight to voicemail, and text messages actually started bouncing back. She said, quote, I was like, I'm going to head down there to see if she's all right. Vanessa's sister said that she was staying close so that she could search in the case and that she was needed. And this is because on the 27th of April, officials were asking for the public's help to find the missing soldier. And what we learned is officials plan to search the base for Vanessa, but she had received no updates really on her sister as of 7 p.m. that day. On April 27th, Vanessa's sister writes, quote, today is supposed to be a major search. I'm just hoping someone speaks out. This is already day 6, but nobody has said anything, end quote. So this was a disappointing day. I'm still collecting information. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it sounds like things are not going as they expected, and that officials with the U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Command did not return calls or comment that Monday. Also, on the 27th, we find out that the Army officials offered a $15,000 reward for anyone with credible information on Vanessa's whereabouts. At the same time, Vanessa's sister spoke to 6 News saying that this is something she never thought she'd have to go through. So you can look that up on I think it's KCEN TV. May 2nd, 20 family and friends of the PFC, Vanessa Guillen, rallied in Guillen, hoping to raise public awareness about her disappearance. So a few of her friends and family say, well, one of her friends say, quote, "We feel very desperate and we are about 3 hours away, and that is no help to us," says Frida Hernandez. And they're saying that most of these people kind of live around Houston. So it continues with, quote, "This concern we have is really hard for us to just stay there. And so we felt we need to come here and let people know that we are concerned about our friend and that we need to find her," end quote. So they're, she had friends rallying, holding up signs, and they're letting people know, they are aware and they are there to find her. They mean business. And I think that is great, because we still have people like Allison Watterson that I've not had time to do another story on. Her mother still only has $5,000 for a reward, and listen, this happened in a small area and she can't get answers and she can't get people to help her with her story. So this is really great that this family is able to do this. If you're thinking that I don't know this story that well, you're absolutely correct. I just started researching it. Anyways, this one was kind of hard for me to take in, because, you can kind of feel the desperate and let me read it for you. So this one's quotes. "I know she's going to be with us soon. I can feel it. I know if people have hope, it gives me hope," end quote. That is what Vanessa's sister says to the media. So the media is not lacking anybody there to speak up, because they've got plenty. You can go through many articles and find out, they are sharing everything they can. They have a lot of quoted material out there. The problem, what we don't have, is anything to give us a clue where Vanessa is. But I feel like there's a possibility that they have something, and that's why they're not sharing much with the family and friends. They don't want to, jeopardize their chances of finding out what happened to her. We have seen a little bit from Vanessa's boyfriend, Juan Cruz, who shared on social media that she has 3 tattoos on her left arm. You can find that on people.com. So it's Vanessa's sister, as well as Vanessa's boyfriend, Juan. They said that they have been there in Guillen since the sister was listed missing. They're not planning on going anywhere. So on May 4, 2020, the Army Criminal Investigation Command says that it's running extensive searches from the air and on the ground with the assistance of the FBI. Texas EcuSearch has also joined in. So they're combing these areas near Fort Hood. And like I mentioned to you, this is a huge area. We hear that it's about 340 acres of land to search. I didn't have time to see if they're still letting the public search, but it doesn't look like it. So while Houston friends and family travel to to Guillen or Fort Hood to help in the search, they're sharing Vanessa's pictures. They are making homemade poster boards with her name all over it, asking people to help them find her. So one of the last things that I have that Vanessa's sister says, quote, "I'm hoping that one day she'll show up at home. If anybody were to see her, let us know as soon as possible," end quote. So you can look that up on Fox 26. But one thing we do know is while the search continues, her friends and family just are continuing to push her face and push her story and asking people to help them bring Vanessa Guillen home. They are asking if anybody has any information. There is a $15,000 reward that will actually lead to finding her. And anyone with information on her whereabouts should call Army CID at 254-495-7767 or the Military Police Desk at 254-287-4001. So anyways, guys, we did get another face in this story, that another person that's disappeared from this, the same area. Guys, just share this video, share her story, and share her face. I just hope that they can find her. I mean, we have so many of these cases, and I always want to cover each and every story, but it's nearly impossible, especially since I like to collect so much information. I'm OCD about that, and so I tried to let go of some of the information I couldn't get with this, just to get the story out there. If you are her family members, I haven't had time to go reach out to you, but if you happen to see this, reach out to me, because I would like to get, you know, some more personal information so that people can get to know her better. All right, guys, I want to say thank you so much for caring about these cases. Without you, it wouldn't matter. Love you guys. Please stay safe. Even though they're starting to open things back up, be careful, because COVID is still dangerous. So just be, you know, smart. Try to stay home, and we'll get past it, guys. And I guess I'll see you guys soon. Bye.